45 minutes together. The goal is to help every one of you get past go. What I mean to the millionaire. I know you basically have tried that before. You listen to someone else that's going to tell you how to do this or that. How about if I coach you? How about I hold your hand? How about I show you exactly what I did to get to that $100 million building, the $1 million Lamborghini, and all the goodies? You see, they nicknamed me the Godfather Credit years ago. So what do we get to do? We get to learn to play. This is live all the time. No pictures, no recording. Because why? I want you to put it here. The ultimate goal for every one of you, the goodies over here, I obtained those about 20 years ago. You got to see today's list. We got to have fun. But you can know what? You can come here 6 days a week online or usually in person. You can ask me a question or two and I'll help you get through it. The ultimate goal is repackaging every one of you to $5 million. That would be the goal this year. Look behind the curtain. In other words, understand how things are done. Don't just pay people to do things, all right, when you basically don't need to know. No, you need to know everything. Bottom line is simple. It's like with that 750 score. Let's think about it. To get that $100 million building, the $1 million Lamborghini, $5 million mansion, and the race boats and the goodies, you got to have a 750 and above. And that's what I maintain an 841. So your goal is simple today. And if you want $100,000 of credit for maybe starting a business or a corporation, let me know. I'll build that up for you too. Ultimate goal. We got choices today, and I like to add you to my credit system. You see, I created something years ago when I was trained Ken Yarborough, Security Chief at TRW Experian. You see, if I add you to my system, I can help you get a $5 million mansion too. But again, you got to follow through. So here's some goodies I obtained about 20 years ago. What do we get to look at? Simple. All right, I want to teach you how to get the American dream. But I have to analyze you first. In other words, I like to look at your personal credit, your Experian, your Transit, and Equifax. I can tell you exactly what you need to do down to a science within 90 days. Now, here's my schedule. I'm online 6 days a week. Wednesday, I have classes, and all day Saturday. Up to 10 classes live with me. You can have fun. But the bottom line is I want to repackage every one of you. I've been doing this for 45 years. You got a choice today. So the bottom line is I need you to learn to be a certified CFO. I'll train you for that too. 1,000 steps to millionaire. The ultimate goal of my legacy is going to be the Ray Reynolds University. You see, we got choices today. When I got to that point, $2.6 billion of corporate structure when I was 26, I wanted to help everybody for free. Nobody wanted to play with me. So most of my programs I get you involved with, understand something today. All right, I'm going to give you back your money through personal business credit. Usually up to times 10. You can play today, and the bottom line is you're always going to remember me. That's the ultimate goal. As we do this today, draw the diagram in front of you. It represents a corporation with divisions or subsidiaries. You have to make a decision which one you want. And I'm going to explain both of them to you too. You see, if we look at that diagram, a corporation should never do business. It should manage entities which are divisions or subsidiaries. Let's give you an example. When Bank of America bankrupted thousands of locations, they got a tax credit. When we look at Chase, U.S. Bank, and Wells Fargo too, you see they have a corporation that owns all those locations. That's why they call it a branch number. When we look at basically Sam's Club, they did the same thing. We look at Geico, we look at basic cities that filed bankruptcy too. So what are we supposed to do as consumers, or we the people? Simple. Number one, you don't bring the pain home. Number two, you learn to be a certified CFO as I coach you up to 6 days a week. From there, you reprogram your brain into millionaire status. The ultimate goal, you see my blueprint. I want you to understand how to play. Let's look at the 14th Amendment of the Constitution. You see, it allowed a corporation to be a legal person. A legal person over 100 years ago. All right, so the bottom line, let's understand. Corporation, they get to play. That's that 1%ers, by the way. So today, let's think about my thought this week for you. What are you waiting for? I don't get it. You have the ability to change your life today. Look at today and look at your past. That's the roller coaster of faith and persistence. If you didn't get to million to billion, my question for you, number one, will be why not? I got my first million at 14 and a half years old. All right, the bottom line, and don't think about this, I was born an orphan. You see, I had to basically learn how to play. Now, you see, the lack of knowledge is the stupidity of man and woman. We're not stupid. We just need a good coach. By the way, that's what I'm here for you today. Bottom line, what people do is they're afraid to try. They hold themselves back and they don't think they can accomplish the goal. Today, I want you to write some certain things down. Now, let's draw that diagram again. Here's a corporation. It's going to be a management company. You're going to create your line of defense. You're never going to bring the pain home again, and you're going to put all your ducks in a row while you repackage your life. Is that okay with you? Ultimate goal, don't be a sheep anymore. Learn what has to be done. Don't just count on other people. They tend to always let you down anyway. So as you learn for yourself, as we learn to play, I'm the incorporator for rich and famous people. People coming out of prison and homeless people too. What most people do to start a business, they have a kitchen table meeting. And they sit around with their friends and family, all get excited. We're going to start a business. Oh, goody. And it comes down to the reality. Where are we going to get the money? Here's the problem, 9 out of 10 people. They have a corporate want one. But the reality is this. They jack up their personal credit. All right? They drop the score, get stuck, can't get any more, and they can't write out diddly squat. Why do people bring the pain home when they never had to? I don't understand that. So we got to teach you how to play to not bring the pain home ever again. So write down today's date, please. I'd like you to focus on it every day for 90 working days. You see, that way you can get your mansion too, and your $100 million mansion and yachts and race boats and goodies. See, the bottom line at the end of the day, if you didn't get it, I'm sorry to say, you didn't go get it. Half people in this world are lazy anyway. When I wrote Winning the Game of Business 45 years ago, from Repackaging America, because that's what I was doing, having fun. Every book is a design, is a blueprint. You can't even screw it up. I sold it at the Bonaventure for 32 years every Wednesday night for $5,000 a set. So here's a blueprint to get to the million. And again, you can't mess it up as long as you can follow through. The next thing is you might want to get my real estate system. How I got millions and millions of real estate too. How about become the bank? Buckets of money and tax balancing. See, the 18 books and CDs are $9.99 to you today. Or I'll give it to you for free if you invest in $1,000 any product I have to sell you. That's simple. See, you don't know if you're falling off the cliff. They're going to catch you. They're going to push you down. Sorry. That's called hold your breath when you start a business. My journey wasn't so easy. I got born in a taxi. She didn't want me. She was 15 and a half years old on the way to Gardena Hospital. She gave me to the Hope family. And all Mrs. Hope did is use and abuse me too. So the bottom line today, do yourself a favor. Let's let your journey begin today. See, every morning I'm up at 2:25. Always. I look in the mirror right after I get off my knees and say, thank you, Jesus, for another day. See, I didn't get a family when I was a kid. I had to move 24 times when I was 11 and a half years old. I got used and abused, and it sucked. So I wanted out of hell. That's what I look at it today. So I look in that mirror after I say, thank you, Jesus, and I put myself in check. Who's going to help me? Who's going to loan money? Who's going to give me anything? Nobody. I got nobody in the world till I got married and had kids. So the bottom line today, I don't want you listening to your friends and family anymore. I think they cloud your direction. If they haven't brought in millions and billions, quit listening to them. Start listening to me, because I'll get you where you want to go. Is that okay? July 4, 2009, I got my yachts in my backyard, 3 of them, and my race boats and my Duffies and my goodies. Wife wants to take a group of people to watch the fireworks. Sounds good. No problem. How many people? Then we'll decide which yacht we take. No problem. Watch fireworks. Next day, I'm in a coma. Someone was sick, and I got to die. Tax attorney stole my life, tricked my wife to sign a POA. From there, the nurse asked if I was a donor. They're going to rip out my heart and take it away. Next thing is I got a choice that day. Stay in peace or go back. I said go back. So let's understand something today. It's a mindset. Understand something. No matter what you've been through, I've been shot twice with a gun, knife 6 times. And again, I got to go to school and watch Torrance, Hawthorne, and all the good areas. You had to learn to kick it or run, and I'd rather die than run. So today, let's understand something, all right? I'd like to be your coach for about 90 days and teach you how to play. Is that okay with you? But again, you got to reprogram your brain to basically think of what you're trying to do. One of my books coming out this year is called Jesus is Not a Drive-Thru. See, I believe being a Christian's a way of life, not a moment in time. Ultimate Go. Here's some more goodies. So this means very simple today. Getting past Go is not easy. You got to fight. But I'll help you do all the work. Is that okay? See, I'll show you the Lamborghini collection, the Duffys, and the mansions. From there, I'll show you how I broke the record for the highest kick on the planet in 1981 to prove basically one thing. White men do jump and stupid people say we don't. From there, I got basically race boats in the backyard. Where you park yours? Helicopter, U-Docks, and yachts. Oh, don't forget about the Ferraris. This is 20 years ago. You got to see the group of things they get today. I never use clip art. Let's just show you the truth. Ray's rules. The blueprint. Just remember the blueprint is very simple. See it, believe it, go get it. Because that's how it works for me. Now write down section 611. Write it down. I want you to Google later today. They say you can rebuild your credit yourself. The Ultimate Go credit repair is a fraud. Ultimate Go, I didn't say it. Federal Trade Commission says it every day. People aren't allowed to collect money up front. The bottom line is here's basically the thing about we're going to talk about the Better Business Bureau. Because Disney, hey, you've seen all these companies don't be blackmailed. You can look it on YouTube. The Federal Trade Commission literally, all right, in CNN in 2020, they kicked the BBB's butt. They're a fraud. They're a Ponzi. They're a scam. Not only was the Better Business Bureau federally indicted, all right, they even kicked out of cities. So be careful today, please. It's like anything else. 2020 and CNN will show you that every day. Now, Lexington Law and CreditRepair.com on the BBB says they got 4 government agencies chasing them and 755 complaints. All I can tell you that is be careful, because aren't they not supposed to be able to collect money up front? It's like LifeLock. Mark started it years ago. He was kind of a crook when he started it anyway, but they've been indicted 6 times. The last indictment they had is $100 million. Again, please be careful again today. Now, what I like to tell you is the truth. When you are a credit repair company, write silly letters to the credit bureaus trying to trick your computer store information, it usually wakes up the creditor and kind of pisses them off. And then they come get you some more. By the way, your score drops even more. You see what most people think on a credit repair company? They're going to wipe out their debt and they got a magic wand. There's no magic wand. Credit repair doesn't wipe out your debt. This is where you got to man up and woman up. You owe a debt, pay the damn debt. There's only 3 things you need to do to get a 750 score anyway. All we have to do is open collection account and negotiate. Get your debt ratio to 25-29% and get a rapid rescore. A rapid refresh. And all you got to do, you get a 750. See, that's called the KISS method. Alright, KISS stands for Keep It Simple Stupid. We got to play. If you want to have your credit rebuilt, you have to be part of my program. You have to go to class, you have to listen, learn, and do what you're told to do. What a concept. Now, the goodies on the right-hand side, again, I obtain. Let's give you the first 25 steps today. First of all, go to annualcreditreport.com. Credit reports are free. Simple. I like that. There, get your reports. Next, what I want to do is analyze your credit. That means I want to look at your Experian, your Trandio, and Equifax. I can tell you exactly what it takes to get to a 750 in 90 working days. But you're going to have to follow through too. Now, I need you to get out your Social Security card right now, please. Ladies, it's in your purse. Gentlemen, it's in your back pocket. When we look at the card, we're going to understand some more. This is the application no one seemed to pay attention to besides me. Application for Social Security card. Line 1 says name to be shown on card, full name at birth other than above, and names to use. We were given an SSN, all right, when we were told to get it before Nixon took the gold standard out. If he already took the gold standard out, that means Mama did it at the hospital. Your SSN is for your 1040 tax return. When you look at the card front and back and read it and pay attention this time to that card, which no one usually does, it'll say do not laminate, don't carry with you, and don't use for ID purposes, but you put it on all the applications. Then it says government agency. Oh, by the way, that's the IRS, Social Security Administration. So what do we get to do? We look at the card and understand we got an SSN for a 1040 tax return. That's what it was for. When we got our first paycheck a long time ago, we thought we were ripped off because half the money was missing. Then we were pointed out, someone said, hey, that's because the IRS gets their cut before you get the leftover. We all work for them too. They get their cut, we get the leftover, and then we're supposed to survive By the way, your income is your lifestyle. Quit thinking credit is your personal bank account, because it's not. That's why you keep bringing the pain home. You see, we're all a bunch of ducks and sheep. What you should have did is focus on the 14th Amendment of the Constitution, where it says a corporation is a legal person under the SS4. So what I want you to do now is write down irs.gov. Write it down. I want you to take your SSN and SS4 and file one tax return under an S corporation, so you almost pay no tax ever again. There you go. You can learn to be one of the 1%ers too. You got choices today. You see, we only get one SSN. That means one thing. 9 out of 10 people screw it up every day. Corporation gets an SS4. They created 1120. But then if they sue the corp, they would sue you. How does the bank, the grocery store in the city do this? They have a management company, and all those locations or branches, and they have a branch number. Those are called subsidiaries. What I designed is the pattern, and they're basically rules and tools for divisions in 1985 and 86. In California, we have a franchise tax fee per corporation. I didn't want to pay that. So I modified a form, got it approved, and divisions don't pay a franchise tax fee at all. It's under the corporate umbrella. So every entity can get credit. Now, what's the difference between personal business credit? Jack it up, get stuck, can't write a dilly squat, hurt your family, bring the pain on, silly and dumb. Corporation gets to write off the credit card and the interest rate and finance the business. And if they screw up, they get rid of a division. If they don't bring the pain to the corporate, to the family, that'd be kind of silly and dumb. Nobody does that, right? We all can be a certified CFO and reprogram our brain into millionaire status. So if we look at the SSN, we're a bunch of sheep. And that's what happens. SS4, that's a flying eagle. So let's compare the two today. Let's have some fun. If I have to rebuild you in your SSN, okay, you got to go to class, teach you how to play to be a CFO for the corporation. As you're the CFO of the corporation, we'll build the corp and the divisions for you too. Same time, I'd like to get you an SS4 and put your name on line 1, please. You see, you could have a division of you. You can start choosing wisely and quit bringing the pain home in the first place. But again, I don't understand. I've been teaching and preaching for 45 years. You got to put all your ducks in a row. There's that form again. Getting your Social Security card. All right, line 1, SSN for 1040 tax return. In the left-hand corner, it says SS5. By the way, that's IRS. So let's compare to the SS4. That's for a corporation, division, subsidiary. Line 1 in front of you says legal name of entity or individual person. You can actually put your name on line 1, and I can build a credit report for you too. Let's understand on this form, all the forms you don't dissect. You're so busy paying other people that it lets you down. You have to learn for yourself too. Line 9 there says banking and credit purposes. It's the only form that allows you one per entity. It gives you a second chance so you don't have to bring the pain home. Bringing the pain home is not acceptable. See, a corporation gets the buffer tax. It doesn't pay tax till it makes a profit. Then on that, the corporation gets cash credit cards. Now. Finance itself. Car at fleet price. Stay at the hotel and get the free buffet. Then the divisions give you the line of defense. And what does that mean? Cheap, multiple functions, buy at wholesale price. And we get to get multiple credit reports. And on top of that, real estate and separate liability. You see, if you're ever going to do a business for real, divisions give you the safety as a backup for a backup. Because you have to plan the problem. Because there's always going to be a problem. That's called the roller coaster of life, faith and persistence. Getting and setting up your line of defense. Now, I'll guarantee what I say I can do, as long as you're part of the program and you follow through and do what I ask you to do. Alright? Ultimate goal. Simple. And we'll put it all in writing for you. Now, here, don't violate. That means you jack up cards, you apply for credit. When I had history, you get all these invitations, but they're not true about pre-being qualification. So a violation is jacking up cards and reapplying and screwing up the rapid rescore. If you do that, you got to talk to your specialist or the floor manager. His name is Santos. 800-510-3338. Simple. See, the debt you might have needs to be negotiated. Past can't chase future. If you got an IRS problem, solve that too. It's called irs.gov. They have a form called 656 and 433A and B. The ultimate goal, step number 3. As we play, just remember rapid refresh. I created that 38 years ago. It makes the scores go up, up, and away. And getting a 750, not hard to do, as long as you're part of the program, go to class, and you follow through. You have to be part of the program. All right? You can't just basically pay money and go away and think a miracle happened. I want to repackage every one of you. There's the goal. Remember, to get a 750 is not hard to do. Negotiate an open collection account. All right, get your debt ratio on cards 25-29%. And all you got to do is a rapid refresh, and guess what you got? A 750 score. The KISS method. All right, got to keep it simple, stupid. We don't have to worry about that anymore. See, that's 750, not hard to do. But again, I need you to think about if you want a corporation or divisions and getting some credit for the corporation too. That way you can become that CFO. So if we rebuild your credit files, all right, and we do a rapid refresh, and we put you in class on Saturday, will you go? The next thing is you get to go for 90 days, so go to the ones you can. From there, you get a 750 score. Now I was going to charge you $9.99, $1,000. Then I give you a $500 card back to you. You get half your dollars back. Now during the broadcast, I give you half price. That means you get it for $4.99. Take your phone and the camera and just use that scan. It'll get you an invoice. Pay now, now, now. You save 50% during the broadcast. All right, and I'm your coach for 90 days. Now take a picture of Zelle if you want to do it that way too. Ray Reynolds recipient, ray@racecredit.com. Bank wire transfer deposit. See, I'm never going to have an excuse for you. I'll answer your questions and hold your hand, do most of the work for you too. You're assigned a specialist. From there, if you want to give us referrals, you can make up to 10% money to you. Ultimate goal. Now, I need you to do something. I need you to write down a phone number. 888-567-8688. See, you're on the national mailing list because you have your voter, corporation, or a cable bill. This is how you get junk mail and robocalls. Why don't you opt out for 5 years? Simple. All right, step 4. Now, the next thing I want you to think about is planning the problem. Your life isn't done about roller coaster up and down. But again, plan the problem. I think you probably got ripped off by a friend and family member. You spent thousands, some didn't work. But again, I'm online 6 days a week to hold your hand. Every card you got in your purse or wallet needs a sticky. This is how we dummy-proof everything. We put the limit of the card. We maintain 25% always. We never go past 29%. That will build your line of defense as you do this correctly, because all dashboards now say 0 to 29 is green, 30 is yellow, 50 is red. So the ultimate goal with that discipline in place, and when you understand there's a science behind the madness, simple to do, balance your debt once you do that as well. As we balance that debt, I want to introduce you to 2 perfect credit cards. You see, all cards use the 29% rule. Jack it up, plop. But if we turn around and need to balance our debt and have an emergency too, why don't we find the 2 cards that do not use the 29% rule? They have 2 limits, paid over time and unlimited to $1 million. These cards are what I say help balance your debt, personally and business-wise too. The ultimate goal. But again, that'll be up to you if you want me to build it up for you as well. As we structure this as well. Now what happens most of the time when people have an emergency, all right, and all of a sudden they panic, then they jack it up. You should at least ask them to increase it. So if you lose your job, have an emergency, what do you do usually? You run out of time, you run out of money, and then you jack up your credit cards in 42 days and you back yourself in a corner. There's a better way. Now today, let's understand what the average person does. They waste $50 every other day. So if you needed $5,000 now, ask your friends, your family, the bank. They tend to say no. But if I use a $5,000 safety credit card, max it out, the payment's $50 a month. So what the average person wastes in a given month, all right, in a given day, they could have maintained the credit card. If we look at safety credit again and again, let's think about what happens if the average person wastes $140 a week. That's $600 a month. If I take $50,000 off of a corporate credit card, The payment is $612.26, with the average person wastes in a given month. If we use some common sense, we can go buy 2 pizza restaurants with a drive-thru. All right, even during the pandemic. So reaching your goal, all you need is a coach to basically help you through the little pieces you're missing. And gonna have to believe in yourself. Me, I believe in God, and I believe in me. When I was kicking the door jam at 10, that was fun. When I started kicking the basketball hoop, they go, "What? It's fun." But again, all I can tell you is white men can't jump, and stupid people say we don't all the time. I don't get that. So when Nixon took the gold standard out, let's understand something today. I want you to write down Ray's rules. What does that mean? A couple cars worth $100,000. Use 29%. Leave yourself safety for $71,000 in case you lost a job, pandemic, or whatever happened wrong. Again, you're prepared. When you use personal credit to start a business and jack it up and get stuck, I'm sorry, that makes no sense. When you use corporate credit and you have a corporate divisions, if you win, you absorb the taxation. Usually, if you lose, you get rid of a division, kind of like the bank and the grocery store in the city do on that subsidiary. See, you could have your cake and eat it too. Bottom line, it's Ray's rule, step 7. All right, become a certified CFO, never bring the pain home. How hard is that to follow along too? So as we play today, let's understand something. There I am dead. Hospital takes a picture when they call the time of death. I was always should have sat up and freaked him out and smiled. Like, jeez. But I was dead. 541. That kind of sucks. Hey, why don't you Google my address at the time? You'll find out I'm factually verifiable too. You see, the devil's always trying to knock us down and hold us down. But I think God's delays aren't God's denials. So today, your personal life should be a break-even. Anything above that should go to the corporation. You balance your debt, you get a 750 score, and you do what I ask you to do. What a concept for you. From there, corporations accredit life. Why don't we get 10 cars per entity? That way you get over $1 million. And what do you get to do? Use my blueprint while I rebuild you. It's not legal accounting advice at all. Let's just play in the game and learning to win. Because I want to repackage every one of you. Up to $5 million. This is your year if you want to play. Now, banks give checkbook money. It's basically unsecured up to $150,000. So if we want to get some checkbook money based on corporate divisions, we get to $5.4 million of that too. See, knowing how to play, that's how you win. From there, corporation's a legal person. It's right there in front of you. It's chapter 18. See, when I was being used and abused at Mrs. Hope House every Wednesday night, they had a poker game. I listened and I heard that. I wrote it down. They told me it was weird. I went to the Torrance Police Department the next day. There's a library next door. Ma'am, what does this mean? She didn't say a word. She walked away. I thought she was being rude. She came back and says, "Here's a marker for you. Here's a book." She was a bee. And she's a librarian. I read the book. All right? You see, the problem is they didn't have a blueprint. You've been looking for your blueprint all your life. By the way, I'm your blueprint. I sent away a money order to the Secretary of State of California when I was 9.5 years old, after 2 years going to the library. All right, little money order. I got the corporation and came back. See, all corporations are free in all 50 states. You pay a little filing fee. I am the founder of Helping Hand Industry. Got 100,000 credit came in the mail. Got named to the movie Dave. Isn't that fun? See, the dashboards allow me to get you a tax ID. It allows me to build credit reports for you. Would you like credit for your corporation and divisions to finance itself, or you want to keep stealing from the family? It's going to be up to you. You can learn to be that certified CFO. I built credit for my cat to prove my point years ago. Egg Magazine asked me about credit while I was at the Bonovich, and I said use plastic to finance your business. There you go. See, cats have 9 lives. I think you should have 9 lives as well. So let's set up a line of defense in case blank hits the fan again. Is that okay? Every tax ID I get for you, if you allow me to, I set up the cash reports. Then I get you cash credit cards. And then I line you up and teach you how to get checkbook money. Is that okay with you? That every entity gets $250,000 of credit? Now here's 7 reasons you probably want me to do it for you. Write it down. You can't take a picture. A division gives you the line of defense like the banks and grocery stores do. From there in the cities, they're cheap. Multiple functions. Buy at wholesale price. multiple credit reports, separate for liability, lease, and renting properties, and separate liability. So this allows me to build an Experian, TransUnion, and an Equifax under tax ID per entity. That way you have a second chance. You don't bring the pain home. And I'd recommend 9 divisions if you want $1 million of credit. That's my recommendation for you for the line of defense. From there, let's ask you a question. If I got you a gold card, all right, for the corporation unlimited for $1 million and paid over time limit too, my next question, would you like 9 sisters? That allows me to set up every division, credit files, and build more credit, up to $1 million to $10 million. Each division has a piece of property, franchise. You see, when you drive through McDonald's, this is operated and owned by. Ultimate goal is, again, we get to play the game of one screwed up. You know what we're going to do? We're not going to go boo-hoo. We're going to put it aside, disconnect, isolate, incorporate, keep the other pieces, and go set up another one. Like your banks and your grocery stores in your cities do every day. Why did you bring the pain home anyway? You see, a corporation's very simple. It should be a management company. Line of defense. All of a sudden, I got a problem with the division. You know what we're going to do? We're going to have an emergency meeting. We, the board, vote and elect to disconnect, isolate, incorporate. I'm going to try to save it. If I can't save it under the Federal Protection Act, I'm going to bankrupt that. And I'm not bringing the pain to the corporate, my family. Why would I do that? It's got its own tax ID. We know how to play with divisions. Whoever brings the pain home after meeting me, they're still being silly and dumb, sorry to say. Divisions, I do the paperwork, the tax ID, the credit reports. I even add 2,000 of history. I charge $500 a piece, three of them for $1,500. It gives you 3 chances to try. Just don't have the intent to do fraud, please. In the Zelle, all you have to do is put the message what you Zelle for. Again, repackaging every one of you. So let's think. I'd like to get you up to $1 million of credit cards. I'd like you to get $5 million in checkbook money, and that should be your goal right away for this year. From there, it's simple. I have a schedule. I'm online 6 days a week live. I want to repackage every one of you. I've done this for 45 years. This is the 45th year. So understand. I even have this 3-day event coming up, setting the tone. January 27th, 28th, 29th. So they, as a bonus, get level 1, 2, 3 in specialty classes, $25,000 of credit. It's a $14,000 of bonuses. From there, we're going to go through my 18 books and CDs. We're going to usually charge you $10,000, but during the broadcast, it's discounted 50% to $49.99. From there, if you don't want the bonuses, it's $1,000 a day to attend that online. From there, it's basically simple. The last and final one I'm doing, okay, as we do this in 2024, I'm going on a business trip. There's your Zelle, bank transfer, wire deposit. Ultimate goal. I even have this becoming the millionaire member. You see, in 2008, I did one of these, and we created $1.3 billion. Kind of fun. So understand, for 6 months, you get to play with me, because it's ongoing coaching with you. I interview you, then I inventory you. Then we look at personal business and set your goals and blueprint you. From there, for 6 months, you're stuck with me. We're going to have a Zoom every 2 weeks. On top of that, I'm calling you weekly. All right, to wake you up and shake you up. From there, you get level 1, 2, 3 in special classes for 6 months. The ultimate goal. From there, you get $100,000 of bonus cash credit as we do this. So keep in mind, it's a 6-month commitment from you. The ultimate goal is normally $35,000, discounted to $10,000. Pay in full, say 10%. $5,000 down, $1,000 a month. This is almost sold out anyway. From here, it's my last and final one, because the last one I did of this was 2008. We're going to give you Setting the Tone 3 days online for free. We're going to make sure you understand the last and final one as your coach for 6 months. But again, there's your Zelle, bank transfer, deposit, or wire. As we do this today, keep in mind, I have specialty classes, all right, and there are 8 different type in rotation. And what happens like this Saturday, all right, we have a nonprofit class workshop. Now understand, Getting a 501c3 exemption, attorneys and CPAs are charging $15,000 for. I go to that during the workshop and then teach you what the pluses and the things you get to do. It's 3 o'clock on this Saturday, the 14th. I charge $999 for 90 days, of these specialty classes. From there, if all you want is the nonprofit class, you have to Zelle $499 to me, and what happens is I give you the link, and in the message you put what you Zelle for. That way you're in the class for the hour and a half to 2 hours it goes for. As we do this, keep in mind checkbook money. It's unsecured business line of credit, up to $150. So if you focus on that, the ultimate goal is up to $5.4 million and getting some checkbook money for corporations and divisions. That way you can finance the dream and write it all off. See, all cash credit requires a certified CFO. I got to build you to be that certified CFO. As we do this, when you use personal credit, you jack it up, you drop the score, you get stuck, you can't get any more, and you can't write a daily squat. That's kind of silly and dumb. But the ultimate goal is if we use corporate credit, borrow money is not taxable. When exorbitant taxation usually lose, it's a division, not the corporate, not you. But again, when you retire, the bills don't go away. So you could have your cake you needed to if you want. But again, you have to follow through, be part of the program. It's called Ray's Rules, by the way. Become a certified CFO. Never bring the pain home. The ultimate goal, your left hand should say SSN. I quack like a duck and I'm a sheep. The other hand should say SS4. I don't pay tax till I make a profit. The IRS public record. So today you can understand to go to the IRS website, irs.gov, download a 1244, the SSN and SS4 filing one tax return. It's called an S corporation, and you almost pay no tax. Again, you could play. But again, it's like today, if I wrote you a check hypothetically for $1 million, what would you do? You'd be putting it in your personal bank account. Your attorney or CPA would tell you do not call that stupid, because you only get to keep $375. You put it in a corporation, you get to pay the bills first and pay tax on the leftover. No leftover, no tax. Is that how the rich and famous people do it every day in front of you? You can learn to play, but it's up to you. You see, today we have to look at the United States of America Incorporated. They set up 50 corporations. The corporations called states called cities. They did that too. See, they did planning the problem a long time ago in front of you. You didn't pay attention. They even created a Chapter 9 bankruptcy under the Federal Protection Act. It allows them to bankrupt a debt and stay in business. You can learn to play too with no intent to do fraud if you want to, but it's up to you. Why don't you Google bankruptcy today? You see, the next time blank hits the fan, what are you going to do? You and your family SSN and bring the pain home again? Or is it a corp division or subsidiary? You get to use SSN or SS4. You can plan the problem so you're prepared this time. But again, that's up to you. As we play, you let me add you to my credit system. All right, and I can make your credit scores go up and away. I can help you get a $5 million mansion too. And that one I got there, that one's like 20 years ago. So if you got a corporation today and you want to play and you want me to build you $1 million of credit, okay. As long as you're a part of the program, you go to class. You have to learn to be a qualified CFO, the rules and the tools. Now, here's what happens with most of you. You get a corporation before you met me. You basically spent thousands, 5,000 plus, an attorney, CPA, and a corporate service, and they ripped you off. They killed your money. Why do I say that? You didn't learn diddly squat. The corporations are free in all 50 states. You pay a little filing fee. California is even waiving the fee currently. So the corporation itself is free. Simple. I learned that at 9.5. You don't have to be a sheep. You can learn to do things for yourself too. Here's a starter package for beginners. Simple. Let's rebuild the credit rapid score. If you don't have a corporation, I'll give you the articles, also tax ID for free. I'll put you in setup every Wednesday and Saturday for 90 days. Go as many times as you can. All right, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. All right, my package sells for $2,000. National average for a corp by itself is $3,000. So I'm going to give it to you for $19.99 and $5,000 of credit back to you. During a broadcast, I mean it's now, as you learn to be the CFO, I discount that in half price. For $999, I rebuild your life, hand you $5,000 in corporate credit. Use the scan. It'll give you an invoice. Pay it now, now, now. During the broadcast, you can save 50%. During the broadcast. The after the fact, we're going to charge you double the price. It's up to you when you put it off, not me. So the ultimate goal, like anything else, you get 90 days of coaching with me. From there, a millionaire in the making. It's a $5,000 package because you get up to $25,000 bonus cash credit. But again, even during this broadcast, I discount that in half too. $24.99 lower than a corporate actually costs, and you get all the goodies, and you get $25,000 of cash credit back to you. What excuse you got now? The ultimate goal in 90 days of coaching. So understand it's a Zelle, now, or you just scan it and you pay. That's all you got to do. See, you got to beat your doubt and run your race. In other words, get out of my way while I rebuild you. Number 11 today. You see, getting past go is not hard to do. It's knowing the rules and the tools how to play. The mansions in the harbor, God's gift. Race boats that say the Ray Reynolds University.com, and yachts, helicopters, Lamborghinis, and buildings too. Why not? You see, now I need you to change your driver's license because I want you to. I want the address changed. P.O. Box and mailing address, what your state allows you to do. Privacy. That's the ultimate goal. Now, when you bought your car you drive today, I'm sorry, you did that wrong too. You got sweated for 5 hours. You lost 5,000, got 9 inquiries. You should have set the tone that day and said 1 inquiry and take a picture. But again, you did not. You let them treat you like a sheep. That stops as of today. So understand when you buy a car from now on, it is fleet price tax ID division. And it doesn't show up on personal reports. No gap insurance. No 1099C. It's a corporate car. You become a certified CFO and write it all off. Your car today in a bumpity bump, you're the registered owner. They're going to sue that when they get a bumpity bump. But if it's a division instead of you, when there's a bumpity bump, they get diddly squat. Why don't you plan the problem from now on? Why don't you learn to play and stop bringing the pain home in the first place? I've been teaching and preaching for 45 years. Where have you been? Every piece of property you get's a division. You don't know who's going to slip and fall and sue you. Your paycheck should be a broke even off your tax as your house payment. Amazon paid no tax on the first 10 billion, a trillion. Why would they pay any tax? Because they have a line of credit more than they bring in. There's no loophole. They're doing what they're allowed to do. He bought Twitter with a line of credit in 24 hours. He's got a spaceship. So do the other two guys. They have spaceships. It's fun. Again, learning to play. You could join the club and learn to win the battle too if you want to. That's step 15 today. As we play, why don't you write down money into more money? Reference 3 times 5. You see, here's the problem. All right? You complain maybe about rich and famous people not paying tax. Carl here has it set up correctly. He pays no state or federal tax. His line of credit is more than he brings in the billions. So why would he pay tax? I mean, Walt Disney is simple. They have $1 billion. Newsweek says they want to deduct taxes, and they put an IOU on themselves. They pay no tax on $1 billion. You see, your problem is you don't know how to play. So if you want a day, you can play with me. You get assigned a specialist. They hold your hand every step of the way. Run your life through a corporation, please, in conjunction. As we play today, I'd like you to write down pay tax or buy a Lamborghini. Your paycheck's taxable income, right? You get the leftover, and then you pay what? The payment, gas, registration, insurance? Why don't you yell no? Because the way you're doing it sucks. And drive a company car like I do. Why not? Boom, boom. But again, today, why don't you go to irs.gov and get a 1044? Nope. How about an SS4? Why? Line 10, banking and credit purposes. Public record. Simple. You can find out that I'm telling you the truth. You don't have to be a duck anymore. Because if you have to get sued, you're going to have to duck. So when Nixon took the gold standard out, every woman who delivered a baby has to sign the SSN form. So the baby goes in the stroller, the car seat, and goes home. Everything I do is rules and tools. Buy a house, escrow, close, homestead, trust. You got a house that's not in a trust? When they sue you, what do? They take it away. When you die, you're stuck in a probate and your family got diddly squat. I guess why not, huh? When you fix up a property, who do? You hire the contractor. that hires a subcontractor that stands out outside Home Depot. And what happens when they slip and fall? All right, and they sue you and take everything you got. My way, they get diddly squat. I like my way better. What do you think? Why don't you look up in your revocable trust today? Do what you want. This is step number 19, 6 more to go. All right, you don't have to bring the pain home. You never had to. Now I get people almost every day, Ray, I want to not pay tax ever again. It's simple. I tell them, knock off the crap. You see, you can't play peekaboo with the IRS making a mess. If you tried that, go back to irs.gov and get a 656 433 A and B. This is what Wesley should have done in the first place when he screwed up and went to prison for 5 years. Ruined his career too. Again, play, but also work by the rules and tools. Step number 20 today. If you ever want, all right, to be an OPM, it's up to 70% discount, and you don't pay a bill up to 90 days, simple to do. Close escrow on a property, get $200,000 left over. What do? Most people get money, act like they're rich, piss it away, and they're broke the next day. Why don't we use Ray's rules, leverage money, borrow money is not taxable, and let's set up a line of defense. Let's do number 21 called Blackjack. Is that okay with you? So we got choices today. Here's my office in 2008, 2009. Very simple. We're in technology, Irvine Spectrum. 22,000 square feet. Locations in other states, up to $1 million a day. And 2008 was my greatest year. And all these ding-dongs doing buyers are liars and stated income crap and countrywide, they did it to themselves, being stupid. But the bottom line, in 2009, they got to die. Come back. I lost my life. Came back and they stole it, the tax attorney. From there, I had to start over again. By the way, it only took me 6 weeks to build $1 million of credit. You see, that's your backup for a backup. From now on, don't bring the pain home. All right, let me coach you. Let's have some fun to see it, believe it, go get it. No more excuses. I'm going to tell you what to do, and I pray to God you follow through. 1,000 steps to millionaire. Become a certified CFO. Repackaging you up to $5 million this year. As you do this, don't forget the checkbook money. I like checkbook money. From there, a corporation's a legal what? Person. It's in front of you. It may sue or be sued. We get to play. Corporations and divisions get cash credit. You get to write it all off. You can't do that as a person. That's why you brought the pain home. You didn't have your line of defense. So when I do the corporation's tax ID or the divisions, I build credit reports, Experian, Trangio, and Equifax. That way we build cash credit. You want up to $1 million, I'm going to suggest 9 divisions. There you go. That's your line of defense. So a division is simple. I'll do the paperwork, tax ID, set it up, you'll sign it, mail it away, it'll come back, give me a copy. I'll put 2,000 of history, and I'll basically set up the credit reports. I charge $500 a piece, $1,500 for 3. That's pretty simple. It's a Zell, now. See, today, I have a schedule. I'm online 6 days a week, answering questions. I can coach you personally. I don't have excuses. And you just lost all your excuses. Why you didn't get to the American dream? Sorry, own that. It's because you didn't come here to listen and learn. Let's repackage you. I've been doing this for 45 years, so understand. I got Setting the Tone coming up. Every one of you should be in that 3-day event online. Level 1, 2, 3 specialty classes and $25,000 of credit. Going through my 18 books. Understanding it's a $10,000 package discounted half price on the webinar with me today now. From there it's $49.99. You know what the bonus is? $1,000 a day. Simple. And from here, it's my last and final one ever scheduled. It's a Zell, now. If you want to get coached for 6 months and play, this is the Ray Reynolds Millionaire member. It's 6 months. Last time I did this was 2008. So the goal is to interview you, inventory you, blueprint your personal business life, and make sure you understand it's for 6 months. We're going to do a Zoom every 2 weeks. On top of that, calls from me weekly, and you're going to be on top of the game, learn to play. Level 1, 2, 3 in specialty classes for 6 months. From here, $100,000 of cash credit. I'm going to teach you how to daisy change it to your divisions. So keep in mind today, it's a 6-month program if you want that. It's normally $35,000 discounted to 10. Pay in full, 10% discount, $5,000 down, $1,000 a month for 5 months. This is the last and final one I'm going to do. 2024, I'm going on a business trip. You get basically setting the tone for free as we play. So the goal today is very simple. All right, if you want a 6 months coaching from me, there you go. It is a Zelle, bank transfer, deposit, or wire. So keep in mind, my next question for you would be, what are you willing to lose? Family? Never. Never had one as a kid. Didn't get a mommy and a daddy. Don't know what a cousin or uncle is, whatever that is. From there, a corporation, if they get sued, they tend to sue you. So to me, what makes sense is the line of defense called divisions. If we play chess today, we both lose pieces on both sides. Your banks, your grocery stores, your cities, and all the companies in front of you do this. So your goal would be very simple. At the end of the day, let's all get checkmate. Step 23. As we play, you give referrals, I'll build you some more credit. Next, let's think. Reaching the dream. Think to be the impossible. Raise rules. Building corporations, credit foundations and divisions, training people to be a certified CFO. That's the ultimate goal. As we do this, if I add you to my credit system, building your score and repackaging you, you can actually obtain a $5 million mansion too. But I've got to analyze you as I show you how to have the American dream. So keep in mind today, never have joint credit. It's just in the way. Buy a house, escrow, close, homestead, trust. From there, a piece of paper called a corporation is free in all 50 states. You pay a little filing fee. You give it life by having divisions for real estate, franchise, current business, and setting up the line of defense. Raise rules. I give bonus cash credit in everything I try to do, so you can finance the business, write it all off, and take away your excuses. Okay? Because excuses do not put food on the table. So your goal, step 24. As you play today, understand 750 score is the goal. As we do this, we rebuild the credit. You have to go to class, you have to pay attention and follow through. Building your score and the wrapper refresh. When we rebuild it, we add a wrapper rescore. I actually pay for the first one for you when I discount this online. Classes are Saturday for 90 days, as many times as you can go. From there, 750 score, usually $1,000, a $500 card back to you. During the broadcast, we discount it to $499, half price. So that card I get you reimburses you. But you have to use the scan in your phone now, and pay the invoice online now. When you don't do it, then you just double the fee. That's all. From there are 90 days of coaching with me. Starting package for millionaire. Rebuild the credit, wrapper rescore, articles, also tax ID. Set them level 1 every Wednesday and Saturday at 10 a.m. for 90 days. $5,000 of credit back to you. This is discounted half price to $9.99. You end up getting 5 times your money back through the credit. Again, you have to scan in your phone to pay the invoice now. Ultimate goal, 90 days of coaching. From here, millionaire in the making. You get up to $25,000 of bonus cash credit. $5,000. Discounted to $24.99. So that way you get 10 times your money back through the personal and the business credit. Coaching for 90 days. Ultimate goal is Zelle, bank transfer, deposit, or wire. When you don't do it, that's on you. So the chance to be a corporate millionaire is right in front of you. We all have to understand how banks and grocery stores do this too. We could play. But number 1 is not stop bringing the pain home. Number 2, understand what a certified CFO is and learn to get the training for that too. And reprogram your brain into millionaire status. We have to teach how to look behind the curtain. From there, we do our best. Stay safe and strong, and Jesus does the rest. Amen to that too. From there, at the end of the day, all right, I would Zelle now. If you need to call the office at 800-510-3338, specialists are standing by right now. You can talk to them, and guess what you could do? You can get into the program right away. But if you don't do it, whose fault is that? Yours. So understand something today. We do our best. God does the rest. Amen to that too. And never forget, at the end of the day, God loves us all.